Hi, good morning everyone, and welcome to the hands-on training session on Spark AR. Today we have with us Miss Aisha Naseem. Aisha is the campus ambassador at Spark AR, and she will be teaching you how to build your AR effects on Spark AR. I hope all of you have downloaded Spark AR Studio and are ready with your laptops. You can keep building your AR effects along with the workshop and submit your AR effects at the end of the workshop on your hackathon dashboard. We will also share the submission link in the comment section. Everyone who submits an AR effect will receive a backpack and a certificate from Facebook Spark AR. There are also cash prizes worth $600 to be won. So don't miss this opportunity and submit your AR effects today. Now, without any further delay, let's start the workshop. Over to you, Aisha.
Thank you. And hello, everyone. I'm Aisha, SparkAR Campus Ambassador. And today I'll be teaching you how to create your first effect on SparkAR Studio. But before that, I'll tell you a little about augmented reality and why we should be creating AR effects. I'll also show you some very cool AR effects that have been created on SparkAR Studio and a few career options that we have if we are interested in augmented reality. So let's get started. So I hope my screen is visible to you. So welcome to the session today. And in the session, first we'll be talking about augmented reality. Then we will learn what are AR effects and see some cool AR effects on Spark AR Studio. Then we'll see the career options that we have if we are interested in augmented reality, and we'll learn to how to create an AR effect. So what exactly is augmented reality? So, augmented reality can be defined as a system that incorporates three basic features: a combination of real and virtual worlds, real time interaction, and accurate 3D registration of virtual and real objects. This means in augmented reality, for example, if we are using our camera, then it overlays an image that is 3D or 2D by tracking the 3D and 2D objects on the camera above it so that the reality is augmented. So why Spark AR? So Spark AR Studio is the only platform to create and publish AR effects for Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. So there are countless of other apps that you can use to create AR or AR effects, but to publish them on the Facebook family of apps, that is Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger, the only tool we can use is Spark AR Studio. That's the only software it supports. So you must all have heard about Facebook's vision for metaverse, bringing people together through immersive technology. So Facebook is bringing AR, that is one step of the immersive technology, through the one thing that is accessible to all of us, that is the camera on our mobile phones. So I'll show you a very cool effect. This is an AR effect for Steve Aoki, which was created by Eddie Adams. And Eddie Adams is a very, very famous AR creator. And this effect was created by Eddie Adams on Spark AR Studio itself. And this was to promote Steve Aoki's latest album, Neon Future 4. So let's have a look. So now we'll have a look at some of the ways in which we can use AR effects. So we can create AR effects for a cause that we support. For example, Black Lives Matter here that is shown. So this is again created by Eddie Adams on Spark AR Studio, and I'll show you how this looks like. Then we can also create AR effects for marketing and promotion of products. So in this AR effect that you're going to see right now, this was again created on Spark AR Studio. And this AR effect uses target or object tracking to increase user engagement for an ice cream brand. So what happens is when you scan this ice cream box on your phone, it overlays an image over it so that you will see right now. So you can see how we can make a promotion interactive and immersive, and this will help in increasing the user engagement for a brand. Next, we can also create AR effects for fun, for example, for games. And I'll here show you guys a very cool card game that was again created on Spark AR Studio. So let's have a look. So as you all can see, there is no limit on the creativity that we can put while creating AR effects. So what happened in this effect is the effect was tracking certain targets that are the images on the card, and then when it tracks that image on the card, it overlays a 3D object over it, and then there's interaction between them. So we can also create AR effects for learning. For example, like whenever we read something or watch a video or a presentation on a topic that we are about to learn, we learn much, but it's not that effective compared to if we are actually immersed in it. So that is why AR effects or immersive technology can be very, very handy for learning. So there's a saying that goes, if showing is better than saying, then doing is better than showing. So when we are actually learning in an immersive technology and then we are actually doing it, that is, we are actually involved in it, and that enhances our learning. So let us have a look at a few of the career options that we have if we are interested in augmented reality. So you can see the first one is a software developer. Then we have a 3D artist. We have software designer, design architect, and system validation engineer. Now, these are not the only career options available if you are trying to pursue AR, because these are just the trending career options right now in the market. But there are countless of other career options that you can choose if you are interested in AR. So let's get back to creating an AR effect. And let me open my Spark AR Studio and show you guys. So whenever we open Spark AR Studio, we see an interface like this. So on the left side, we see create new, learn recent projects and open. And on the right, most of the middle and the right part, we see in the create new section, we have experiences. That is a blank project, sharing experience, and a video call experience. So what this means is for the sharing experience effects are for stories on Instagrams and reels and posts on Instagram, and if we are sending messages to people on Instagram or Facebook. And video calling experience is basically for the video calls on Messenger or Instagram Live. So it depends on what kind of AR effect you want to create for them. And if you choose a blank project, it's up to you if you want a sharing experience, a video call experience, or both of them. So you will have more control over what you're doing. So if you want that, choose a blank project. Then you can see there are a lot of templates there in this podcast studio. So you can use templates to quickly build your effect. For example, in this pass the object, if you click on that, you will see that it's already an effect made, and all you have to do is replace the object and modify it according to how you want it. So that's when templates come in handy. And then there are other templates like group vote, hand movement, body movement, animated poster, and face mask, head decoration, hair color, a lot of things. So it's up to you and up to your creativity how you would like to use them. So for now, to get started, I'll just start with a sharing experience because I want my effect to be shared on stories and reels and Facebook stories also. So I'll click on sharing experience for now. So as you can see, I have my dashboard here. So this is how the Sparkia Studio looks like if you have guys have tried it. So this here is the viewport, and you can right click on this viewport to move around and see how your effect is actually. So you can just adjust it and zoom it too so that it's according to how you want it. I'll also enlarge this for you guys. So in the left side, you see a scene panel. So in this scene panel, you can see the hierarchy. The first is the device. In the device, there's a camera, and in the camera, there's a focal distance. So you can see this is our device right here, and the camera is the small dot, and this is the focal distance that covers this. You can see that in the viewport. Then you can see ambient light and directional light here. So when I click on directional light, you can see this is the directional light that we're talking about. So it puts a light on the effect so that in low light conditions also it doesn't fade out. So you can see, so this is the scene panel, and when you click on add, you can add a lot of things in inculcate a lot of things in your effect. For example, when you click on add, you see scene understanding that has the options of a face tracker, plane tracker, target tracker, or hand tracker. So, going by the name, a face tracker tracks a face movement, a plane tracker tracks a plane, a target tracker tracks for an object. For example, for the effects that we saw, that robot game in AR effect for fun, that used target tracker. And then we have a hand tracker too. So, it tracks a hand. Then there are a lot of other things that you can add. For example, there are 3D objects like plane, null object, face mesh, 3D text. In 2D objects, you have a canvas, rectangle, 2D stack, and 2D text. You can also add light according to your needs, and there are effects like the particle system that you can use too. Animation sequence is basically a GIF that is but it's not actually a GIF. It's a collection of a lot of pictures that are used as a GIF. So in below the scene panel, there is the asset panel. So you can import your textures here from your computer or from the asset library. So when you click on the asset library, you can see there are countless of things that you can use. So you have 3D objects. You can search for whatever you want. For example, if you want a plant, you can get that here. It's all up to you. You can choose music and sound from here itself, or you can add your own from your device. Then there are patch assets, there are textures that you can use, there are blocks, scripts, and color LUTs. So it's all there to aid your AR effect creation. On the other hand, you can import textures made by yourself on, for example, if they're 2D textures, then you can make it on Adobe Illustrator, Canva, Photoshop, or photopea.com, whatever you find comfortable for you. And if it is a 3D texture, you can create them on Blender or use free 3D textures from the internet and reduce the size on Blender. So for today, I'll show you the thought process that goes behind creating an effect while creating an effect. So today I'm thinking of creating a filter for that depicts a little bit of Mexico. So whenever we think of Mexico, we think of red chili peppers, we think of lime, we think of cactus, we think of exotic desert colors, we think of again some decorations. So let's try to put that into our filter and see how it turns out to be. So in the focal distance, I'll click on focal distance and right click to add an object. And the first thing that I'll add is a canvas, because here right now I'm going to be dealing with 2D objects. So you can see whenever the canvas appears, it is on the layer 0. So we can also optimize our layer here. Let's just rename this to background. We'll add another layer, rename this as the person. We'll add another layer and rename this as the front layer. So you can see according to the hierarchy, the background goes in the last, then there's the person, and then there's a front layer for overlay. So that's what I want. So that's how I've created my layer. And now the canvas will be in the person layer or the background layer according to what you want. So I'll click on add object again and add a rectangle. And first thing that I want to do is I want to replace the background. You can see this is a pre-made video which has a white background for itself, but I want this person to come at the front and it has a replaceable background at the back. So I'll just rename this as background because this is my background rectangle. I'll put it on the BG layer. So you can see it appears on the top left. It is a white and black checkered box. That means it's the default one that we have. So I don't want just this portion of the background to be replaced. I want the whole background to be replaced no matter what the size of the device is. So in the right side, you can see the properties of this BG rectangle. So what I want to do is I'll select the layer as BG because it is in the BG layer. Then in the width, you can see it's 100 by 100. That's why it's here. But I wanted to fill the width and height of whatever device it is. So I'll click on this 100 and I'll see an option to fill width. So you can see it has filled the width of the device. And when I click on height and click on fill height again, you can see it has filled the height of the device. So that's how you can adjust the size. You can also do it according to whatever you found convenient. For example, if you want a 200 by 200, you can do that too. But here I wanted to fill the device that I have. So that's why. And then I'll create a material for this. So because I want something to replace this white and black checkered. So I'll just click on materials and rename this as BG mat. Just a second. Now you can see it is grayish because of the light that's falling on it. But if we set the shader type to flat, it becomes white because that's what it actually is. Now I want my person. So again, on the canvas, I'll create another rectangle where I'll have my person back. So in 2 minutes, you will see how we have actually replaced the background. So again, in the layer, I'll select the person. And again, for this one, I'll fill width and fill height. Now I want the camera texture to be on the front. So what I'll do is I'll go to the camera and you can see on the right side, I have this option called texture extraction. So on the right of that, there's a plus symbol. So I'll click that. That brings the camera texture into my textures here in the asset panel. And then in the segmentation, I'll click on plus again and it will be a person segmentation because I want the person. So now I have the camera and the person tag segmentation on my textures. So now when I go to person, I'll again create a material for the person and rename this as person mat. Always try to use meaningful variables for whatever you are creating. Otherwise, you will be very confused and will take you another 5 to 10 minutes to find out which texture corresponds to which material and which rectangle corresponds to what. So in the person mat, I'll again set the shader type to flat. Why I want the shader type to flat is because I don't want it to be according to the color that I have or the light that I have. I want it to be just flat. So for the person mat only, in the texture, in the right side, you can see this texture here. So it gives me an option to choose file. So I'll just click here and choose the camera texture. And then I'll click on alpha, and you can see there's another option here, textures. So I'll just click on it and put the segmentation texture here. So now I have my person back on the screen. So for the background, I want it to be another PNG. So I'll export that. So I just have a few of the PNGs here. So these are all with transparent backgrounds, the other thing. So I'll just drag this IMG background into my Sparkia Studio. The other thing that you can do is you can just click on add asset and import from computer. Then you can click on this IMG background, select this and have it. So you can see it is importing here and the compression, it is automatically compressing it according to the size, but I'll set the compression to none because I want it in the highest quality that I have. Now that I have my texture imported, I wanted to replace this white background. So I'll go to the BG mat and in the texture, I'll select the IMG background and you can see now our background has been replaced. So you can see here that the background has been replaced now. And you can see the background, if you look carefully at the background, it has vertical lines that merge at the center so that the focus is more on the person and not on that much on the background, and the background just looks funky but does not take attention away from you. So that's a good way to use backgrounds in your AR effect. So now that I have my background replaced, I want some banners on the top to decorate it. So for that, in the canvas again, I'll add an object called rectangle and rename this as decoration because they're decoration. And in the right side in the properties, I want it to be first in the BG layer. And I just wanted to fill the width. You can see you can also adjust it in the viewport. For example, I want it to be of a little less height, so I'll just adjust it that way. And now I want to import the texture for this. So I'll just drag this IMG banner that I have already downloaded from the internet. You can see it is again compressing it. So you can set the compression to none so that your filter is in the highest quality possible. And in the deco again, I'll create a new material. Then click on create new material. I'll rename this as deco mat. And then set the shader type to flat, and in the texture choose this banner. So you can see I now have my banner here. It is very important to note that all these this banner and the other image that I'll import again will have transparent backgrounds, otherwise it will just replace the whole texture. So this already has transparent background, that's why it appears like this. So now I want to adjust this a little bit. So I'll just click on my deco and I'll drag it downwards and I'll rotate it. Now I want another banner duplicated. So I'll just right click on this deco and click on duplicate. So you can see a deco 0 has appeared. So I want this deco 0 in the front layer so that there's a layer between the background and the front, that is the person. So when the person comes between them, it doesn't feel like it's just a static image. So it feels like the person is between the banners. So you can see the other deco here in the blue. So I'll just drag it downwards. I'll rotate it a little bit and then put it here. So now you can see I've finally added my banners. And let us work with the face tracker now. So I'll click on add And in the scene understanding, I'll click on face tracker. So what a face tracker does is you can see there's an arrow moving here in the viewport. So according to how the person moves its face, that means this null object is tracking the face. And you can see the face tracker automatically is in the front layer, but I want it to be in the person layer. So to have this something on this null object, I'll just create an object for it. That is, click on add object on the face tracker, and then I'll select face mesh. So the face mesh again will be in the person layer. So you can see a face mesh with white and black checkered has appeared, but it is on the back of the screen, not on the front where I want it to be. So we'll fix that now. So I'll click on materials, create a new material, and rename this as face mat. I'll again set the shader type to flat. And you can see if you click on the color here, according to the color you choose, it changes. But for now, just want it to be white. So I'll select white. And so whenever you have this face mat in the material, when you're editing its properties, and you see it's in the back and it has not rendered properly, so in select the face mat, and in the face mat you can see an advanced render options here. Click on that and uncheck the use depth test. Now you can see the mask has appeared on the face in the emulator. So now what I want is I want to replace this mask with two chilies on the face or two limes on the face. Let's work with lime this time. So I have this IMG limes here. I'll import that, drag it into my Sparkia Studio. So you can see here this is a transparent background picture with two limes that are supposed to be on the face. So you can download the face reference assets for this and then overlay these limes on it and delete the face. You can see I again set the compression to none because I want my filter to be in the highest quality possible. So with the IMG line that I have in the face mat, I'll go and choose a texture and select these IMG lines. And you can see now it has replaced the face mesh that we had. And this is the texture that we have received from that. You can also notice that it is tracking a face, that is, it's not constant at a place. So this is what basically the face tracker does. Now to know more about face tracker, I'll also add a taco on the head of this person. So when whichever person uses my effect will have a taco on their head. So I'll just add another object, and that object will be a plane. Why a plane? Because here we're dealing with 3D objects. The face tracker is a 3D object because it is tracking a 3D face, which actually looks 2D, but it is actually a 3D. And then we have the face mesh, which is the face mask that we have of the lines. And for this plane, you can see it appeared here on my screen. So now in the viewport, I'll just pause the video to adjust it. You can pause it from here. You can see it's pause, play, and you can restart again from here. So I want to adjust this on the head of the person. So here you can see it is a little on the back. So I'll have them on the front. So this is how this works. Now I have the plane on the head of the person. So when I play, you can see it's here. Now again, it has a little depth issue. So we'll fix that. It is on the front layer. Let me keep it on the person layer. So I'll again create a material for this and rename this as taco mat because I want a taco on the head. I'll set the shader type to flat, and in the texture, I'll import my taco. By the time I'll also be dealing with a pinwheel and a cactus, so I'll also import them. Pinwheel is basically a decoration here, and this cactus also. So now that we have see this plane on the head, let's just choose a texture for this. Before that, we'll go to advanced render option and uncheck the use depth ifs. Now you can see it is clearly visible. And while being on the taco mat, I'll just choose a texture to be of the taco that I have imported. So you can see the taco now appears on the head. But you can see it's very small for what I wanted. So I'll just pause the video and click on the plane, and you can see now I have an option to adjust it. So this tool adjusts the position, this tool adjusts the rotation, and this one in the viewport edits the scale. So I'll click on this one and I'll increase the size on the X and Y axis. I'll play it again and this seems perfect to me now. Just I'll adjust the size, like the position again to be a little bit downwards. And now I have my taco on the head. So you can see I have used the face tracker, and this face tracker tracks the face, and whenever the person moves its head, the taco also moves and the face mask stays intact on the face. Now I want a pinwheel in the picture, so let's just go to my canvas. And in the canvas, I'll click on add object. Again, I'll use a rectangle because I'm dealing with 2D objects here. So I'll rename this as pinwheel, and it is in the front layer, which is okay. And I want it to be downward. So in the viewport, while having the pinwheel selected, I'll drag this down and increase the size a little bit. So again, I'll have to create a material for this. So I'll click on materials, click on new material and rename this as pinwheel mat. I'll set the shader type to flat and in the texture, I'll choose my pinwheel. So you can see my pinwheel has appeared here. I want it to be further larger in size, so I'll just adjust that again. Now, a static pinwheel does not look good. I want it to be rotating. So what I'll do is click on add, I'll click on view and reveal my patch editor. So the patch editor is where the logic of your program goes. Suppose if you want the object to rotate or the user to interact in real time using logic, so that's where the patch editor comes into play. Now, if I want to rotate this pinwheel, I want it to rotate indefinitely, and I want it to start rotating whenever the person starts using my effect, and I want it to keep rotating from that time onwards. So I'll double click on my patch editor and just click on loop animation and then add patch. And then I'll click on transaction and then I'll click on add patch again and I'll connect the progress, if you guys can see, the progress of this loop animation to the progress of the transition. And now what I want is I want the this pinwheel to rotate. So I'll click on my pinwheel again and you can see on the right side there is a rotation. So now the rotation in this transition starts from 0, 0, 0 and ends at 1, 1, 1, which is not the correct rotation. I want it to rotate in the z-axis. So I'll select all the others to be 0. And in the z-axis, let us set this to 359. So I'll then click on rotation again. So, if you click on this arrow on the side of the rotation, it automatically brings it to your patch editor. And then I'll connect this to the 3D rotation of the pinwheel. And now you can see my pinwheel has started rotating. But it is rotating too fast for my need. So you can see in the loop animation, you have this option called duration. So let's just set it to 5. So now it's slower and better. And again, I want a cactus here on the right side in the bottom. So again, I'll create I'll click on the canvas and then click on add object and then have my rectangle again. I'll rename this as cactus and it will again be in the front layer. I'll just minimize patch editor for now and I'll create a new material for this. Click on create new material. In the material, I'll rename this to cactus mat. I'll again set the shader type to flat because I don't want it to change according to the light that I have. And in the texture, I'll select the IMG cactus. So you can see I have my cactus here, but I don't want it there. I want it in the bottom right. So I'll click on cactus again in my canvas, and then I'll move it, drag it downwards. And I also want its size to be increased a little. So yes, but a static cactus again does not look good and I want it to float. So there are two ways you can animate your objects. The first one is using the patch editor, and in the second one, there are pre-made animation that that bring the animation to your patch editor. So you can see while I have my cactus selected, this is the cactus rectangle property. So in the top right, you can see these are common repetitive steps that simplify creation. So when I click on this, I have this animate option. Now in the animate, I have spin, float, blink, and pulse. I want it to float, so I'll just click on float. You can see it automatically brought this loop animation connected to transition, connected to the 2D position of the cactus. And now my cactus is floating on the emulator. You can set the duration according to how you want it. If I set it to, it moves slower. So it basically does the same thing, but it is pre-made. So there are two ways you can do this. So when I enlarge it, you can see this is how my effect looks like. So how you have seen, what are the thought process that goes behind creating an AR effect? Suppose if you're creating it for a new year or a Christmas theme, then you know what elements to add in there. And there are countless of other creativities that you can do in your AR effect. So it totally depends on your imagination. So now that I am satisfied with how my effects looks like, I'll just adjust this plane a little again. Yes, it looks good to me now. So now I am kind of satisfied with the effect I have made, and I have to upload this to, first of all, I'll just test it how it looks in real life. So in the right extreme left panel, you can see you have here the video. So these are real-time simulation videos that you already have in the Spark AR Studio. You can click on plus and add your own, or you can use your integrated camera to check in this emulator how it looks like. So right now I cannot click on this integrated camera because my camera is on in StreamYard, but you can do that when you're developing your effect. So if I want to test it on my device, so you can see there are three options here. The first one is the asset library, the second one is test on device, and the third one is publish. So I'll click on test on device because I want to test the effect. So it says preview in app. That means it sends a notification to the Instagram or Facebook account that is linked to your Spark AR Hub. So I'll just click on send here. So because I have both of my Instagram and Facebook linked, it will send a notification on my Facebook and my Instagram that your effect is ready to use or test. And then you can just click on that notification to try out your filter. So you can see when it is done uploading, it says we have sent a notification to Facebook. Open the app to test your effect, and similarly for Instagram. You also have your test link here that you can click on to try the effect. So there are countless options to try your effect. Now I want to publish this effect, so I'll click on publish here. So when you click on publish, you get this publish or your effect dashboard, and it says what do you want to do. So you want to publish your effect. And in the demo video, it's always preferable to record how your effect looks like while trying it on yourself or your friend. But since I have my camera issues here right now, so I'll just record whatever is happening here. But make sure you cannot actually use the model's face that are already there in the Spark AI Studio, because then your effect will be flagged. So it is always advisable that you use it on yourself. So you can see now the platform requirements are met, and I can just click on upload or export. So if you export, it saves your .ar export file on your system. And if you click on upload, it opens the browser that you've last used, and it opens SparkR Hub on that. So I'll just click on upload now, because that's just the easiest way to publish your effect. It saves you some trouble. So you can see now my effect is uploading, and whenever the effect uploading is finished, it will open SparkR Hub on on my browser. So you can see it automatically opened SparkR Hub. And now I have this option to publish my effect. So first thing is the name. So give your effect a unique name. I'll just give uh, taco. I'll just give it a name tacos. And you can see in the file here, the SparkR Studio exported my untitled.ar export file that I have here. You can see it is untitled.ar export because I haven't given it a title yet. So if you are manually exporting it, then you have to click on publish an effect on your SparkAR Hub and then upload this .ar export file here. So in the platform, there's an option to choose specific platforms only or all platforms, depending on how your effect is used. But I created it for a sharing experience. So you can see it is here in the sharing tab, and it is available for Instagram and Facebook. That's all right. I just want it for Instagram for now. So I'll uncheck this Facebook. Then there's this option called audience. So what audience means is your effect can be either public or link only. So if your effect is public, you can see it appears here on your creator tab in Instagram. So the 3 stars are the creator tab. And it appears here, like you can see, this is my effect name and this is my effect demo video. So it will appear there on your Instagram. And if you click on link only, only the people that have the link to your effect can use it or can try it on, and the other people won't be able to see it here on your Instagram. So it's always advisable that you have your effect public so that it reaches a lot of people and it has good impressions and opens and shares. So you can see the publisher here is my account, and on the categories, you can select up to 4 categories, however, whatever describes your effect. So I'll just click on selfies and immersive here. So there is an option to add keywords. So if you're having your effect as a public effect, it's always advisable to add keywords so that your effect appears in searches. So if I'll just add the keyword that are most prominent in my effect, that is taco, Mexico, cactus, taco festival, whatever suits it. So this can be used to optimize how a lot of time the effect appears on your searches. So right now you can see this is the video I uploaded from SparkR Hub, but in a few hours it will get flagged because I'm using the SparkR model. So it is always advisable to open the test link that you send on your device and try it on your device, record a video and upload it here. So now as you go down, you can see there's a publication date option. So set it to as soon as possible because you want to publish it as soon as possible, and then click on submit. So when the file has completed uploading, it will show on my SparkAR Hub in the dashboards and the effects. tab. So you can see here, you can see it says your effect is now in review. So whenever you upload an effect on Spark AR Studio, the team reviews it from the Spark AR side, and it is usually reviewed within a few hours, and it can also take up to 5 days. So you have to be a little patient with that. So you can see this is my effect name tacos that I have created. So when I go to my effect, you can see in the effect dashboard, I have this tacos here. So I'll click this. And what you have to submit in the hackathon site is the effect ID and the effect link. So for this effect, this taco effect that I have created, and suppose I want to submit it in the hackathon. So I need two things. That is my effect ID and effect link. And this is how people can identify your effect and actually try your effect. So when I have my effect clicked from the effect tab, on the top right, you can see three dots. So you can see there's an option of copy effect ID and copy owner ID. So if the hackathon submission requires you, you click on this copy effect ID and it will copy it to your clipboard. You can just paste it in the hackathon submit idea tab. And when you click on share, you can see this is the share link here. And it always has like www.instagram.com/ar/ a big number. So this is how you can identify that this is the correct effect link. And for Facebook, it will be facebook.com/try camera effect/a number again. So then click to copy URL to clipboard. And then again, you can see it says copy to clipboard. Then you can click done and then again paste it in the hackathon's submit idea tab. So now that I am done publishing my effect, let us see if we have a few doubts. Okay, I don't see any doubts here. And for the PNGs that you use for effect, you can use the PNGs that are under the Creative Commons license or free to use from the internet. For example, if you want it for New Year, you can just Google New Year PNGs or New Year stickers, whatever you want. So the last date for submission is 26 December 2021, 11:59 p.m. That is tomorrow midnight. So make sure you create your effects as soon as possible. It won't take you more than 20 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes to create your effects. So do we have any more questions? You can see in the comments that there are videos or playlists to learn how to create other effects. Okay, is there any website that provides copyright-free PNG? You can just go to freepik.com, or you can just, if you have the GitHub developer pack, you can go to Canva. And in the Canva, you can just select a 1024 x 1024 pixel size. And in that pixel size, you can choose stickers or PNGs from the elements in the Canva. So I usually use Canva because Canva is very easy to use. And in the GitHub developer pack, you get the premium version of Canva. So
Thank you, Aisha, for a wonderful session. So we
thank
have a
you so
question:
much.
can we create it on any topic? Yes, you can create it on any topic. It's an open innovation hackathon. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have learned how to create your AR effects. So create your AR effects and submit them before 26 December midnight. That's day after tomorrow. Aisha got confused.
Oh, day after tomorrow, right? Yeah. Yes.
So it's day after tomorrow. Submit your AR effects before day after tomorrow, and you'll be eligible to get your goodies, and there's a chance of getting cash prizes worth $600. Yes, you can rewatch this video. It will be available on YouTube channel. I've shared the link with you in the comment section. You can go to the YouTube channel and you can watch all the videos again. Thank you everyone. Have a good day. Bye.